the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7, and it reads, "Make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance." All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKudash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKudash, Baraka Thumb. It's the brother Kazah from Minival 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be, concerning, putting out, more lessons. You know what I'm saying? Doing your sit downs is coming as an exhortation, for the Akim out there, to increase, the output, which really that comes with growth. You come into this truth, you're gonna go at a certain pace, and then as you grow and you grow, you should have that inward desire, to put out more lessons, you know what I'm saying, so you could ultimately please Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, so the precept we just read, Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and 7, goes into the spirit you should be as far as diligence goes. In the scriptures, they talk about diligence. We're gonna go, before that, we're gonna go into the meaning of diligence, which is careful and persistent work or effort. All right, so persistence, man, that's also part of what it is to be diligent. So let me see and go to another one. All right, so precept in the book of I believe it was in the New Testament. All right, so 2 Peter's chapter 1 and 10. All right, and it says, "Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall." All right, and going into the topic of feeding the sheep, that is definitely something that you have to strive to abound in and increase in, not just in the amount of lessons you bring out, but also the quality of the lessons, the edification, and ultimately, that's one of the good traits of being a teacher, and being a shepherd of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that you edify and you feed the sheep, in sound doctrine. All right, so going into diligence, you see that it's something that is also characterized by persistence. Now, one may say that, okay, well, if you do one lesson a week, for 12 years straight, that's an example of diligence. But in reality, that's just what's it called? That's just a display of being stagnant. If you have 12 years in this thing and you're doing one lesson a week, and you're satisfied with that, you know what I'm saying, that's not the right spirit to be in, because that means that you're just putting out the bare minimum. Whereas if you come into this thing, you might start out doing one lesson a week, maybe two lessons a week, and then within the first year, as you're getting built up, you're doing the 3 lessons a week, and then as you continue on, you're at the point where you could do a lesson, every day, and if not more lessons per day, more than one lesson a day. That's the mindset that you have to be in, and I'm gonna bring a personal thing with myself. I used to be satisfied, doing just 3 lessons a week. I used to be, satisfied just, okay, I did my, it's Thursday, I already did 2 lessons. You know what I'm saying? I could just do 1 lesson, tomorrow, or another lesson, on Saturday, and that could be it. And I always found, through the Spirit that, when those days came, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't have a topic to teach on, and that's really Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, taken away, so ultimately I could see the problem within myself is really like a slothful spirit, and instead of being satisfied with doing the bare minimum, all right, you should be pushing to do more, maybe a lesson every day, you know what I'm saying, if not more. It's always about the mindset of not doing enough. All right, and that's ultimately what it is, because at the end of the day, our righteousness is as filthy rags. Okay, and we can't be over here thinking that we're doing enough, because really, at the end of the day, we're trying to obtain salvation. All right, we're trying to have that mercy. And another thing too, even before the 3 lessons a week order was passed by the apostles, of Great Millstone. Even before then, I was doing my lessons, and I always had that inward, not necessarily an inward desire, but an inward inkling that I should be doing a lesson every day. It should get to the point where I could do a lesson every day, and all through the genuine desire of feeding the sheep. So, which that brings on to the next precept, which is what Yahweh Shai told Peter. All right, and this is the book of John, chapter 21, verse 14, and it reads, and it reads this: now, the third time that Hamashiach Yahweh Shai showed himself to his disciples, after that he was risen from the dead. So when they dined, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? And he said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. And he said unto him, feed my lambs. All right, now this isn't talking about literally going out into the field and feeding the lambs. This is talking about the congregation. All right, this is talking about Israel. Okay, to push out your lessons, man, that you may feed and edify the ministry. You might have new brothers coming in, you might have seasoned brothers coming in, and whatever you bring out through the Spirit is going to be what that brother needs or sister. Verse 16, he said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. And he said unto him, feed my sheep. All right, now he's repeating himself because he wants this to be ingrained. All right, verse 17, and he said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? And Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. And Hamashiach Yahweh Shai said unto him, feed my sheep. Okay, because he really wanted to ingrain into Peter, all right, to feed the flock, man. And really this is written here, as a exhortation unto us as well, because Peter was made the head of the church. All right, after Hamashiach was taken up into the chariot, all right, it was Peter that was the head of the ministry. All right, he was the head apostle in that time. Okay, and they were going out in the streets teaching, man. All right, they were teaching. Okay, so and then they were edifying and they were feeding the sheep, and nothing is new under the sun. All right, now, Lord willing, we're those men coming back in the reincarnation. This is our lot. This is our office. All right, to teach the sheep, to be pastors unto Israel. Okay, to edify the children of our people. All right, the children of thy people. That's what that is, man. You can't be satisfied, with just doing one lesson a week or 3 lessons a week. You can't say, okay, well, at least I did 3 lessons a week and just kick back and, rest. No, man. You got all these prophecies happening. You got the Hebrew you could go into. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of things, you could cover on history. You see something spiritual in a movie. Who knows, man? Hey, you could be out and about. You see something spiritual on a TV. That's a lesson right there. But that whole, spirit of, okay, I did my 3 lessons a week. I'm at the quota, right? Staying in a quota, man. This thing is about laboring for that salvation, man. To make our calling for election sure. There's another precept, exhort daily. All right, book of Hebrews chapter 3 and 13. And it reads, but exhort one another daily while it be called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. And you'll have occasions when certain things will be brought up, which is, back to the basics, but that's because, we're dealing with our people, stiff-necked people. Sometimes, certain things need reminding of, certain topics, need to be resurfaced, and then when you revisit those topics, you come across a new understanding. You might come across a new revelation, and that's through what making your so I can bringing out that diligence, bringing out that abundance. That's what that is, and that's how you ultimately grow in this thing. Putting in that word. Say, mastery is basically, to be a master at something is basically to be familiar with the basics. All right, I forgot exactly how that quote went, but part of that is through showing, abundance. Maybe you have to go into the basics again. Maybe you have to go into how, certain things in the Old Testament link with the New Testament. You might have to go into what the new covenant is, what the old covenant is, certain things like that, just to keep that sword sharp, not just amongst yourself, but amongst the Akim as well, that's going to be watching your videos. You got to get out that spirit of, what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I met the quota, staying in the quota, man. All right. You should be really trying to do the most for Yahweh Hashem and Hawashai. Heck, if you found a way to make a lot of money in the world, you know what I'm saying, and it's very easy. At the click of a button, you could make $1,000. You'd have that button on your left hand. You know what I'm saying? You'd have that button on standby. You'd be eating and you'd be clicking that button. Every time you hit that button, you get, $1,000 deposited into your bank. You know what I'm saying? But because for some reason, some Jakes, they see this thing as such a chore. They just want to, stick to the so-called quota. That's not the spirit of being, man. All right, the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. And it reads, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, and always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, because these lessons, going out to the highways and hedges, all right, that is a spiritual deposit to our heavenly bank account. All right, the treasures in heavens is being stacked up. We are making those shekels in heaven. You know what I'm saying? As we do these lessons. All right, let's go to the word abound. This scripture talks about that. All right, the word abound, all right, to exceed a fixed number of measure. You see, to be left over and above a certain number or measure. So you have to order 3 lessons a week. You know, why not do 4? Why not do 5? Why not do a lesson every day? You know what I'm saying? It's not even about, an order thing. It should be a natural, instinct. It should be instinctual. You should want to do a lesson every day, even more than one lesson. You know, have the rivers of living water flowing out of you, man. That's the mindset you ought to be in, to be built up, and you could be a wise teacher in this thing. And soon we're gonna be leaders, man. All right, so it is imperative that we are well versed in teaching the scriptures, that we are well practiced and seasoned, all right, and have mastery of the scriptures, have mastery of this wisdom. For it is written, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. All right, so it says always abounding, meaning always exceeding, always surpass yourself. You got the people in the world, they go hit the gym and, they log themselves. I would notice, I go to the gym, I see people in the world, the bodybuilder types, they got a little notebook next to them. Like, okay, this day I did, this many reps. I lifted this much of pounds. And, hey, you got to apply that to this truth, man. All right. Because that really showed Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that you about this. All right. Because if you think about it, with that example, hey, that person that's logging in his his reps, you got people that go as far as videotape themselves doing the exercises, to make sure they're doing it right. These are people that put their whole spirit into that gym, man. You know what I'm saying? That put their whole spirit into being better and looking better and improving, their physical capabilities. But us in this knowledge, we are spiritual. So you should be looking to improve on your spiritual capabilities, man, on your spiritual status, to be leveling up, not as proud, not as seeking vainglory, but on seeking, mercy from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So, hey, man, Lord willing, this lesson, was edifying to the Akim. All right. With that, I'm going to say Shalom. All right. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakadash, Barakat, Ba'ashem Rakadash. All right. It is kind of late at night. You know what I'm saying? So, like it for my, stammering lips. But with that, I'm going to say Shalom. On to the next.